What's up, guys? Your boy Marcus J, back with another video. And sorry if you hear noise in the background, but today we're talking about the New York 1863 draft riots. Now, the New York riots of 1863, it all started in July of 1863, and it started over jealousy. The working class in New York was infuriated over a new federal law that passed during the Civil War. Now, this riot only lasted about a week in the largest civil rebellion in U.S. history, right next to the Civil War. So now in 1863, the Conscription Act was an act that was made that only benefited the rich, so they could stay away from the military by either paying $300 or buying a substitute. Now, the buying power of $300 was about $2,065 back nowadays, adjusted for inflation. Now, New York being the business capital of the nation, they didn't like the idea of the Civil War because they knew it would mean they wouldn't be trading cotton with the South. And cotton was a very valuable commodity for the New York merchants. So the war breaks out in 1861, and there was rumors of New York seceding from the Union, and the city's businesses was mostly with the Confederate States. As the war was proceeding, the politicians and the media, meaning pretty much the newspapers, telling the Irish and German immigrants, working class, that their jobs was going to be replaced by the recently freed black people from the South. And in 1862, Abraham Lincoln announced the Emancipation Proclamation, which wouldn't take effect until early 1863. Now, in 1863, the Conscription Act passed under Lincoln's presidential term, which was strict in the manner that all American citizens that were men between the ages of 20 and 35 that was married or unmarried were forced into military duty. The average salary wasn't that much, so as you can guess, nobody wasn't really doing that. So the draft was unavoidable, besides if you was wealthy. The only people that was exempt from this was the African Americans because they weren't considered citizens. There were riots over the draft in cities such as Detroit and Boston, but the main point was in New York. The first day the draft lottery took effect, there was radio silence in the city, but the next day, everything went downhill. The Irish and the Irish Americans started rioting by attacking military and government buildings, but they wasn't violent to the people that didn't try to stop them. Later on that day, though, they targeted the black citizens along with their homes and their businesses. They, with thousands of other people, stormed a colored orphan asylum on 5th Avenue near 42nd Street. That was a 4-story building with more than 200 children. They looted the bedding, food, clothing, and other goods and set fire to the orphanage, but they didn't attack the children, who had to go to one of the almshouses. Also, they put their energy to white abolitionists and white women who dated black men. The dock workers destroyed businesses that favored blacks working on the docks, and they attacked the owners to eliminate the blacks from their working class. And of course, the brunt of the attack was directed at black men. They were lynched and beaten. It was published that the death toll was 119 people, but the estimates of the actual number reached at least 1,200. On July 15th, the riot spread to Brooklyn and Staten Island. And on the next day, 4,000 troops arrived in New York. Those the same troops just coming from the Battle of Gettysburg. The aftermath of the New York riots caused millions of dollars in property damage and made 3,000 plus black residents homeless. These draft riots still stand as more deadly than the 92 LA riots and the 67 Detroit riots, which I will get into in later videos. The Black Child Asylum was going to be rebuilt on the same land it was destroyed on, but eventually they decided that they were gonna move it, and it was later built in what is now Harlem. The abolitionist group came back slowly but surely, and in 1964, NY saw its first all-black volunteer regiment in the Union Army, and they marched through the streets with confidence, going to board their ship in the Hudson River. Now I'm all out, man. Trying to make this a series of other riots around the country in different eras. I'm gonna try to do it. I try to do it as soon as I can. Get these videos out. But thank you guys for watching, and see you next time.